Now, from your weather authority, here's Chief Meteorologist Dan Smith.
Well, I would at least argue it's one of the nicer nights we've had in quite some time here. 80 degrees, that's been a full 10 degrees cooler than at each point tonight than it was the previous night, so that's at least some good news there. But fairly humid right now at 60%. You can feel it out there, that moisture. It wants to rain again, really. And rest assured, I do think it's going to. Here's some of just a few of the viewer totals that we received here. Now, I know Dove Creek isn't really that big of a place. We had 4 separate rain totals sent in to us, ranging us from about 2.5 inches to about 3 1/3. So they got the brunt of it, I would argue, in parts of Tom Green County here. Robert Lee rounding out this particular list at 2 inches. And then we move on to very best outlying areas here. Now, here's a bit of a difference. 3 miles north of Cristobal, 1.5 inches. In Cristobal itself, only a 1/4 inch. Thanks to everybody who sent those in on Facebook, email, what have you. Always love hearing from you. And if you did miss out on round one, I've been keep saying this, I do think we're going to have at least 1 to 2 inches minimum for most Concho Valley residents heading on through the rest of the weekend. Satellite and radar right now, well, there's no real rain to speak of in the Concho Valley. You had most of that pushing on out towards the south, and there was even a flood advisory out towards Kimball County earlier this evening. It was issued just around 7 or 8 o'clock. That had since been allowed to expire. 90 degrees ended up being our high for today, below average. I haven't said that in at least a couple of weeks here. We did have one part where we dipped a bit below the 90-degree mark. Low of 67 this morning, though. I don't think we're going to be too much lower than that, though, even tonight, because of the cloud cover. Sort of tends to act as a blanket there at night. Look at this. We were at 2 1/4 inches yesterday, and that's obviously very good news. Just around 3/4 we had early this morning. Now, it was a bit of a sleepless night because of it, all that thunder and lightning, but it wasn't really severe. So that was really good news. We obviously need the rain here, and no more poignant than pointing out on the drought monitor here. Here was the previous week, and I was thinking, hey, maybe this thing shifts in just a little bit, maybe a county or two. Yikes. That is not great news there, folks. That is stage 4 extreme drought conditions happening in most of the Concho Valley here. I do think that we're going to have less red and orange come next week, though. Here's a brief look ahead on the futurecast. You see just a couple of bouncing clouds here and there, maybe some extra storms coming on towards northwest hill country, but here in San Angelo, tomorrow, only about a 30–40% chance seems quite prudent. Now, here's the forecast rain totals. As I've been saying, going through the rest of the weekend here, still pretty high up there. This is the European model showing about 4 to 5 inches. Again, tends to overdo things. A lot of these models tend to here in west central Texas. Here's the GFS model, an American-based model, also showing a lot of us getting 4 to 5 inches out there. This is a little bit more biased towards the east, but the takeaway is I do think at least 1 to 2 inches more over the weekend is likely. 72 degrees for tonight. Those scattered storms possible, maybe not likely at this point. In your Weather Authority 7-day forecast, Saturday and Sunday, mid-80s, peaking at 70% on Sunday before we clear out on Tuesday, but that is a good 3 or 4 days where we still have those decent rain chances coming into the Concho Valley.